I guess, difference between the first 30 minutes and the last 10?
I think we wore them down some. Then when we got ahead, we could get them spread. We just couldn't make shots. I'm not going to tell you we're the greatest shooting team in the world, but we're way better than that. The whole thing just kind of snowballed on us, and I think sometimes you want to do so good you don't do good, you know. Put a lot of pressure on yourself. We couldn't catch. We couldn't even catch it early. We didn't fumble it around. Missed just all kind of easy shots that we should have made. But we didn't make them. So.
Devin had maybe one of the weirdest kind of nights I've seen. He, got off to a bad shooting start, but he rebounded the ball. He fouled out their bigs, drew a couple of charges. How do you, characterize what he was able to do for you out there tonight?
When Devin and Wani both understand they've got to be way better than that. They both understand that. I mean, those are two veteran guys. Two guys are coming back as starters. They've got to be way better than that. Wani's still struggling. He's not in shape. He hadn't practiced, and he was tired at the end. I think Devin got tired at the end. Tired, and I think frustrated. But I don't know. Would you ask me how do I explain it? I don't think I can.
It's just kind of a weird night.
Well, it's kind of, shooting is a crazy thing, when you have, I forget who went up there, somebody went up in the first half and shot a couple of free throws that weren't close, might have been Gary Brown, I guess. Gary Brown goes up and misses two, and then Nate goes up and misses two, and we all know Nate can shoot. Gary's worked really hard at it. And then when those two guys go 0 for 4, I think everybody's looking around like, what's going on? If there's a positive, the positive is we shot 16% the first half and stayed in the game. We would have never done that before. I told the guys that in 1991, I guess it was a 91-92 season when Eric Martin was there, we should have lost to Miami of Ohio. I mean, they had us beat. We just kept throwing the ball to Herb Jones, playing like we kept throwing the ball to Wani and Devin, and kept throwing the ball to Herb Jones, throwing the ball to Herb Jones. And you have to understand now, I got Van Exel and Blunt and all those guys, and they couldn't hit their behind with both hands. And it was just, and then we go on and go to the Final Four. So we're going to get better. We're going to get better. I don't think I'm comparing this team to that team, certainly. But we're going to get better. We just better get better by Sunday because they're pretty good.
Any explanation for the game Holton had tonight?
The what?
Holton tonight. Any explanation for?
I think he tried too hard, Bob. I think he missed some shots. And, we start the game and he's so nervous, and we ran something for him, and he wouldn't reverse the ball. And they're all screaming at him to reverse it, and he wouldn't reverse it. And something that we saw on film where we thought we could get started, and of course I'm not very happy when we worked on it in practice, and I tell him before the game, and he still doesn't do it. So then he's like knows that he screwed up, and they're good guys. I think sometimes you got to be. You got to be a little bit of an asshole sometimes, that stuff doesn't bother you. We got great shooters that miss shots. They knew they were going to make the next one. And we got guys a lot of guys that they're good guys. They don't want to screw things up. John wants to do good. John wants to play really well. He wants to win. He's not one of those guys that's playing for himself. He's trying to win. He took it pretty hard.
Brandon just flew, or expect him back soon? Or?
Brandon's sick. I have no idea. I have to. I was in pre-med for 1 quarter. That's how long I lasted in pre-med, so I can't leave that to them. 1 quarter, and that was it. That's too much time in the library for me.
It's quite a treasure to have in your pocket, though, to have Juwan down the stretch, isn't it?
Yeah, Bobby got tired. He really got tired. We had to waste our last time out because he didn't come get the ball. And he's tired. He just, and I told you guys he hadn't practiced, and so he got a little bit worn down. We played him 34 minutes. I didn't think we played him that long, but I guess we did. Says we did, I guess we did. I don't want to play him that much. Plays 34, Devin plays 29. I mean, they're obviously going to play more minutes than everybody else, but I don't know that they don't play that many more minutes than everybody else. It's just one of those nights, it's one of those nights where, we just found out that Brandon couldn't go, and yesterday, Billy D goes down. It screws up what you've been working on rotation-wise, and it just wasn't. That's not an excuse. That's kind of a fact. It just was, and then when you can't make a shot, and you can't make a free throw, and you can't hold on to the ball, it makes for a long night.
This game been different last year?
Yeah, probably.
This kind of situation?
Probably so. We didn't guard like we guard now. We guard better. We turn people over. We create some offense from our defense. It's like the old West Virginia native, going to say immortal. That's probably too big a word for him. But Jim Herrick told me one time, he said, I'd rather have the ball than not. I'd rather be up than down. I'd rather win than lose. That's kind of how I feel today.
A couple of your younger guys and newcomers looked like they passed up some shots. You think that was an outgrowth just of other guys were missing?
Well, they were missing too now. They were missing too. Yeah, Dax is usually the first one to let one fly, and he kind of pulled it down a little bit. Of course, I might have had something to do with that. And I thought JC had some shots, and he didn't make any. Thank goodness we get Chase in there, and Chase can make some shots. But he didn't shoot it like like sometimes he shoots it. When our guys think when Chase gets his feet down, and people don't make him change his shot, he's going to make it.
What did you think of your defense?
Well, I thought Wani broke down. He was tired, which he won't as we go on. He won't, but he was kind of an outlet. I thought we did a pretty good job for a while, and then when I kind of got him going, I thought it was pretty good. It's hard. We're trying to make the guys that can't make plays, and the guys that can make plays keep the ball away from them. And that sounds easy, but when you got 5 guys out there with the same color uniform on, and you start to run at one, you're like, oh no, that's not the one. And run back, and we just didn't. We'll get better. We'll get better. And scouting reports on what they're going to be. We didn't. We didn't. They did some nice things. They trapped us on the baseline, which we'll be better at that. We'll throw it out of there, do a much better job later in the year. But they did some nice things. They were very well prepared.
You want to keep utilizing Chase like you did tonight in future games?
Well, I'd like to play him. Yeah, I want to play him. I don't know. It's kind of a situation thing, like it is with a lot of them. I want to accentuate the positive and stay away from the negative. How's that? That's a good quote, Justin. You should make sure you put that one in a DP, will you?
Yeah.
You got that one down?
I got to figure out how to spell it first.
Accentuate?
Yeah.
What are you struggling with?
Bob,
Okay.
much was made out of losing your two shooting guards.
I mean,
Your new guys were 6 for 31 tonight, all new guys, and 3 of those were Jeffers. Do you think you have enough shooting to even despite that?
Well, Bob, we're not, I mean, I never said we'd shoot it as well. We're not going to shoot it as well. I've said that, but I think we've gone guard way better. I know we're going to rebound it way better. We didn't pass it very well today, but I think we will pass it better. I mean, in all honesty, there's a reason why we went to 4 out and gave Wani the ball last year. You know, and hopefully we can get some other guys on this team that'll pass it. And it's hard to run things when you only have one guy can pass. You know, and so we've got to we're working with some of those other guys. I think some of those young guys will be able to pass it. And I know I've said this before, but I got great assistants, and they come in and they're like, run this, and I'm like, okay, who's going to pass it? I mean, I mean, everybody knows who's supposed to get it and where they want to get it. I mean, everybody in the stand, well, not everybody, but a lot of people in the stands know where it's supposed to go. That's not it. It's how do you get those other guys out of the way, and who passes them the ball? And those guys a year ago were good at getting people out of the way because they were so afraid, to let them have shots. But then who passes the ball? So we're gonna continue to work at it. What I like about it is guys I think are have been pretty good with accepting their roles and doing what they're asked to do. Now they had to do it very well today, but it hasn't been guys fighting on. No, I can do this. When you watch them every day and know they can't. And that's what it comes down to. Good teams do what they're good at. I told the guys the other day, I said, I think I might have said this, you got Steve Kerr was point guard. Steve Kerr didn't dribble. Pippen and Jordan dribbled and made shots. Or as Steve said, I think one time he said after he made that shot, they said, what happened on that play? He said, I told Michael I got this one. But he filled a role. And if you look at their championships, it wasn't, there were different guys that all did the same thing, but they all just got away from Michael and Scotty and let them play, and if their guy ran in and helped, they made shots. Made a lot of money doing it. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just hard to convince guys that everybody wants to, for some reason we live in a society where everybody wants to do what they can't do instead of what they can.
Anything else?